Craig, in counseling, I see a lot of men that really are angry and have to deal with anger. But I'd like to look at it just how you see it as a pastor. When a man lets anger build up, he doesn't really deal with it, then how does that affect him, his wife, and his children?
Well, you're the counselor, so you know a lot more about this than I do, but I learned in counseling classes in seminary that generally when a guy's expressing anger at his family, it's really because he's angry at himself. And so we have to start kind of with that root issue and realize that when you're taking things out on others, that the problem is generally you. And you ask, how does it impact families? Well, you know, a wife can't be a great wife when she lives in fear. And children don't, you know, we need to help them feel safe and loved. And so it's a real significant issue. It's, as guys, we're naturally aggressive. Yeah. And our anger can be a righteous anger when we're fighting for what's right. But when it's an unrighteous anger and we're taking it out on people, it's devastating to families.
And sometimes guys seem like they hold it together at work, where sometimes maybe that's where the anger starts, and then they come home and you get the deal that they let it out on their wife and their family.
Right, we do. We're frustrated about something else, and then the people that we love the most get the brunt of our negative feelings. And you know, I've done that in my own marriage, and you tend to ask yourself, why do you do this? And I'm not necessarily sure why we do, but it's I think a lot of times we need to really resolve the issues we have in our own heart, which is, why am I maybe frustrated with myself? Why I might feel like a failure, or I'm not living up to my own expectations, therefore I'm taking this out on everybody else, and it can be devastating.
Yeah, and so if a guy is really dealing with anger, then I don't know that's probably a red flag. And the God's saying, you need to do something about that.
It is. It's time to get help.
Talk to your pastor.
It's time to get help.
Talk to somebody and get some help and do something differently.
Right. And that's not a sign of weakness to get help. That's a sign of strength and wisdom.
Thank you. As a counselor, I appreciate that.
Sure.
Let me read a quote out of the book. A man without a cause from God is just an angry man who does not know where to direct his pent-up energy and aggression. A warrior with a cause from God directs that warlike energy for a cause greater than himself. So having a cause from God is a good deal, but how does a man know what his cause is?
Well, I think, you know, number one, if you're not walking daily with God, you're going to be fighting whatever trips your emotions at the time. And so as we learn to be a follower of Jesus, we're going to see things that naturally, I believe, there's some things that just upset some men more than others. And it may be someone who's been abused, it may be that someone's in need. And so we really look into those natural, I believe, God-given desires to fight for righteousness. And then we look for opportunities, which is, you know, what is God putting around us? And a lot of times when the desire matches the opportunity, you say, that's mine.
Yeah.
I was put on earth to help solve this problem. It's not okay that this happens, not on my watch. And suddenly you're using a righteous anger to bring about good, rather than letting the emotion drive you to an unrighteous anger and hurting people.
You know, I thought of, as you were talking about that, kazone is a great way, I think, for men to kind of, you know, kazone really is the reason I'm doing Awesome Marriage right now. When it first came out and I went through it, and God showed me this is the battle I want you to fight right now.
Good.
You've got a passion for marriage, and it just showed that. So that'd be a great tool, I think, for people to use too.
Yeah. Well, as a pastor, I'm proud of you for using your gifts and your passions to impact people's lives. You're a great example of a warrior who's found your cause. And I imagine fighting for those causes helps your marriage because you're actually doing something productive, and the overflow of that helps all the people around you.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, because now my wife, she says, you remember what you said the other night when you were on stage? That's what you need to be doing right now.
There you go. Yeah, preach to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.